welcome our two speakers, Shella and Mahmoud, and I'm extremely happy that they had the time and actually the willingness to come today and give us an introduction and take us on a little journey to a place where I believe that not many of us have too many information about, so Oman. So now I give the floor to you guys.
Thank you so much, Katharina, and thank you so much, Jan. Show a hand for anyone who have been to Oman or the Middle East in general. What is Oman known for? Let me hear each one of you.
I mean, I just know from a friend who visited, I think 2 years ago, that Oman has a rich cultural and architectural heritage.
I actually don't know anything about Oman.
Okay, so just make a wild guess.
Oh, I like the idea of horse breeding.
I would also go for the World Heritage.
All right, so.
Yeah, I think too for World Heritage. I don't know much about Oman.
Okay, so just make a wild guess.
Yeah,
it will be fun.
I'd reckon A.
So for those who have picked B, it's in fact correct, because Oman is in fact known for shipmaking. Oman shipmaking industry go back to the Sumerian period, so that is over 3,000 years back. And then for the one who have said, the answer is A, is also correct, because Oman is in fact known for its rich world heritage that is unmatched except by Yemen. For those who have actually said horse breeding is also correct. Oman is in fact known for one of the original and the best Arabian horses. Talking about Oman, we cannot obviously ignore the very deep history of this very country. So one of the very early recorded names of Oman is Magan or Magan. In the Sumerian language, it in fact means a mountain of copper or the land of copper. Oman in fact still have large deposits of copper and silver. And then this map, it kind of shows these urban centers of Oman to enable the copper industry, which was transported from the middle of Oman from a place called Bat, which is at the very mountainous area of Oman. And then with that, they were developing these port cities towards the edge of Oman, to be able to export these to India, China, and then to be part of that Silk Road system. So we are talking in here Oman prehistoric period, 4,000 years back. Oman was that almost an important logistic hub for the old world when in terms of trading. And this international trade, it was there since humanity have ever known civilization. And Oman kind of played that middle role between East and West in terms of exchanging actual products, trade, and of course with that there is that cultural exchange that have created the cultural diversity of current day Oman. Oman is in fact known for being one of the few countries who have accepted Islam as the formal religion of the country 1,400 years ago without a war. In fact, the two kings who used to rule Oman, Abd and Jafar, have accepted the message of Islam peacefully and have made it as in the official religion of the country. And then with that, Oman have entered that Islamic period of its history. When we talk about Oman in 1970, Oman have gone through a period of weakness, let's say, during the time when the colonial power were in the Eastern world, and they were colonizing and basically interrupting the existing old world order. And then with that, weaknesses in the Omani, let's say, independent civilization, as one of the oldest, in fact, independent nation in the world, have disrupted the system of the country. But then 1970, it is marked as the Renaissance of Oman, because that is the time when Sultan Qaboos, may he rest in peace, took power of Oman. And that is the day where he really leaped with Oman with this huge, massive a modernization move that he in fact called the Renaissance, or in Arabic, we call it An-Nahda. Oman, throughout the Islamic civilization, have maintained independence. And then that is for the sole reason that Oman have in fact took a different approach to Islamic belief by going through what's so-called the Abadi school of thought, or Abadiism, which emphasize non-interference with the internal affairs of other countries. At the same time, it emphasizes tolerance and maintaining that a strong, let's say, identity sense. With that, Oman continued to be the center of trade, moving from the pre-Islamic to even the Islamic period. During the colonization period and the rise of the English occupation of many Middle Eastern countries, Oman have actually stood as an empire that stretches from parts of Iran all the way even down to some aspects or some parts of Madagascar. The island of Zanzibar was in fact the second capital of Oman. So there was Muscat and Zanzibar as the two capitals of the Omani Empire. Oman, in fact, started acting almost like what the English and the French used to do by creating these port cities throughout their colonies so they could maintain trade. So with that, Oman have emphasized the role of these port cities and making them fortified, made them formidable, but then open to trade. That Muscat city in 1970, it was these two or these three red dots. It was basically old Muscat, Ruby, and Matah, where I actually took Katharina into that trip, through the old part of the city. And then, as you can see that in the 80s, it have grown, and then it has even grown further. And then this city, amazingly, have grown more than 6 times of its very original size. The 90s, that was the new boom of real estate in Muscat City, where the suburbanization movement happened. And as you can see in that light yellow, it was just an amazing boom of land that have stretched the city left and right, and in fact in somewhat a disorganized manner. Oman is moving into a new renaissance, but then this time, this new renaissance is led by 2 major strategies. It is Oman Vision 2040 and the Oman National Spatial Strategy. This is in fact a long-term vision for the country from the urban perspective, and then even from the economic perspective, that lead future development in Oman. And then obviously with that, there is a huge restructuration going right now with the current government